Welcome back, Tangerinies. Today we're talking about how we grew our YouTube channel from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in exactly 18 months.
The 11 things that we did that we think were instrumental to the success of our channel to this point.
Number 1, giving a lot and asking little.
Every time we made a video, we were trying to make sure that it added value to people's lives in some way, whether that was by providing information or entertainment, sharing our stories, making comparisons, whatever the case might be.
Yeah, this reminds me of the famous quote from Zig Ziglar: "You will get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want." Number 2 is studying analytics and learning from them. For example, there's this great third-party tool that we use called TubeBuddy. One of the features TubeBuddy has is a retention analyzer where it takes all of your videos and tells you which are the best performing and which are the worst performing in terms of how long your audience is sticking around for the first 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. So we have to take a look at those best videos, how we started those out, and emulate that, and take a look at the worst ones and never do that again. We use TubeBuddy every single day. If you're interested in it, we'll link to that down below in the description. And I think if you use the code Tangerine, you get a 20% discount or something like that.
Talking also about analytics, we try not to bog ourselves down with what are considered vanity metrics, and those can be things like impressions on the videos or subscriber gain, because those aren't really going to help us improve anything over the course of time. What we're trying to look at are those numbers that are going to give us more information as to what the audience is thinking, what our audience is thinking and feeling and doing, and what they're not actually saying in our comment section. And that leads us right into number 3, and that is constant improvement. Not only do we try to do that through what we can learn from our analytics, but also in editing of videos, recording them. Sometimes that means improving on our equipment, getting better cameras or things like that.
And learning how to work with the natural light to improve the lighting, learning how to improve the sound, getting better on camera. I'll tell you what, it took me 100 videos for it not to feel weird talking into a camera. 100 videos.
And it still sometimes does. It for sure does when we're out and about walking around. Sometimes people ask us that. Like, is it weird when you're walking around in public holding a camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. People stare at us all the time. To get over the anxiety that brings,
But anyway, quality is so important. And in order to get quality, you have to be improving all the time, trying to get better and better.
Yeah, constantly looking for new ways to improve.
And that leads us into number 4, and that is producing quality over quantity. We always want people to feel when they come to our channel and watch our video, that was a good video, I'm going to watch more from them. And we never want them thinking, yeah, that wasn't very good. I didn't learn anything. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't helpful to me at all. It provided no value to me whatsoever. We do not want that, because then they won't watch our future videos.
And of course that also goes along with, we don't ever want to alienate our audience and promise something in the thumbnail or title and not deliver on that. All of that goes into the quality of the video and things we've already talked about, like the retention and adding as much value as possible. So we've never tried, it's changed a little bit over time, but we focus more on high quality videos than we do on releasing many videos on lots of topics. At one time we were even releasing one a day, and because our health and our sanity was taking a nosedive, we weren't able to release as high quality videos because we were just getting burnt out. And that leads us into number 5, being consistent.
Yeah, if you look at the YouTubers who have 1 million subscribers or more, almost all of them have been doing this for years and years and being consistent for years and years.
You want to stay fresh in people's minds so that they're not forgetting about you, especially when we were first starting out. I think that was partially why we were doing so many videos at first, is to stay top of people's minds and to kind of like build a habit with our audience of coming back and watching our videos. But if we had taken a 1 month, 2 month, 6 month break, people are going to forget all about us and then stop caring.
I've seen a lot of channels on YouTube who they're being consistent for a while, and then they get burnt out, and then they take a 6-month break and their channel all but dies. For us, one of the keys to our continual growth was that consistency. Wait, help me, I don't have enough fingers. Number 6. Something that we think has helped our growth on YouTube a lot is being unique. And what do I mean by that? Well, if we were a couple,
Well, we are a couple, but continue.
If we were a couple living where we were in Arizona, just going about our life with a 9-to-5 job. I mean, a lot of people are doing that, so that's not really unique. But being a couple who sold everything we own and started traveling through Mexico with our dog.
In our 20s.
That's something that's unique, and that uniqueness,
it gives your channel some type of appeal. And I think that's the case for channels that I watch too. And it's when there's some unexpected or unique element to it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I want to learn more about their life or this experience or whatever. And I think that's also kind of the appeal about like van life sort of thing, or solo female travelers, is that it's so unique and it's so different and not very many people are doing it. Therefore, it gives that appeal that people are like, I should learn more about this. I'm going to watch.
I'd hate living out of a van.
It sounds kind of
cool
and interesting, but I would hate it, yeah. Hats off to those people. Also, I like how before this clip you were like, can you help me out with the number 6? I don't have 6 fingers.
I don't have enough fingers. You only have 5 fingers on a hand.
I got the next one, you guys. Okay, that leads us into number 7. I did it. Look how many fingers I have. No, that's number 9. I'm getting ahead of ourselves. People are great bullshit detectors. We think it's incredibly important to remain authentic and be genuine people, say what we mean, be honest, not try to put on some type of show to entice people or to be a certain thing.
We've run into so many people in person who are like, you're just like you are in your videos.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're just being ourselves.
Yeah, you sound exactly like you do in your videos. We try. It's on purpose. I'm sure you guys can relate to this. You can kind of see a celebrity maybe, or somebody on a reality TV show, and it's like, that can't possibly be how they act, and your red flags and your bullshit detector starts going boop, 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 boop. So we think it's really important to be authentic, and that also leads us into another point.
When you're authentic, people get to know you, people trust you. It also helps us make a career out of this. When people trust us and then we go and recommend a product or recommend a service, they're more likely to purchase that because they trust us and they like us.
These are things, for instance, like we're affiliates of certain products and certain services. These are things that we really like. We've used the product, we've bought it ourselves, and we've gotten a lot of value, and therefore we think other people can get a lot of value out of it. But if we were to just be recommending anything, whatever, companies come to us all the time and say, we would like to advertise this on your channel, and if it's something that we've never used or we didn't actually like, then someone goes out and buys that thing, they're gonna find out pretty quickly that the product sucks. So we said right from the beginning, it doesn't matter how much money someone offers to pay us, we're not gonna violate our morals and values just to make a buck.
So for example, one company that we're an affiliate with is Rakuten, and this is this great extension where you can get cash back on all of your online purchases, cash back on purchases that you were going to make anyway. We both think it's a super valuable service and it provides us a lot of value. We get something when you guys sign up and we think it will provide you a lot of value, so we think it's a win-win-win all around. Because we're authentic in our videos, people are more likely to sign up when we recommend something.
And that actually leads us into number 8.
How many figures? I held up 5.
Why would you do that? Let people get to know you or us. Allow people to get to know the real us. We're real people, we have personalities, we have likes and dislikes. We realized kind of by accident that that's a really important part of building our channel, is to create these relationships with you guys, with our audience, and have a connection. We realized this after watching a channel we both really like. Let's call this channel Joe Schmo. And Joe Schmo creates great videos. We enjoyed watching them, but eventually the theme of his channel took a turn. And it was at that point that I realized that I wasn't super invested in him as a person, because he never actually shared anything about himself. His videos are always just focused on the theme of the channel. Then we kind of realized it's more important than we probably realized up to that point, that we have been sharing things with you guys, being vulnerable, like me sharing the fact that I got my breast implants removed. That was a really, really hard video to make, but it really resonated with a lot of people. It felt like it allowed us to have a deeper connection with you guys, with our audience.
If we ever want to shift our channel theme, I think that's really important to have that connection with you guys.
Because it's inevitable. I mean, life happens, things change, and our channel, even from the beginning, it's evolved a little bit over time. We don't want that to happen where people feel like they aren't invested in us as people and therefore wouldn't care if our channel took a turn in some unexpected direction. Quick sidebar. Although this is not the typical type of video that we release, if you're interested in seeing more videos about our life in Mexico, traveling here, the culture, the language, the people, and also sometimes videos about our guilty pleasure Las Vegas, we recommend subscribing to our YouTube channel to see those videos.
Number 9, listening to our audience. This is something that we think has helped grow our channel a lot. You guys have lots of great tips for us. You let us know what kind of videos you want to see, and that's very important for us and the videos that we're making next, deciding what to do next. Our channel is like a representation of our life, but we also want it to be helpful and
valuable all the
to
things
you
that
guys.
we talked about earlier.
Yeah, so listening to you guys for feedback is really important to us.
That said, we have had members of our audience who have been very, very vocal about the things that they want, and those don't always translate into things that other people really want, and so we've kind of done videos that flopped because of that. And then there's, of course, the fact that sometimes our audience says, we want this, please make a video like this, but then when it comes down to it, doesn't seem like they actually want it because the video does horribly. It's not always the case, because sometimes like the crowd mentality, you might call it, is actually right. That is what people want. So we still have to be mindful of going in a direction that we think is best, and it's a true representation of us as well.
But I do think that listening to you guys and listening to your recommendations about what you want, about places we should visit and things like that, have done so much good for us.
There's always the exception to the rule, but
exactly.
for the most part, listening to the audience, like we said with analytics, the audience, you guys are talking to us with your actions, and that translates into the numbers in the analytics, like the retention and everything. But there's also actual talking that we're getting, so to ignore that would be a huge mistake. And on to number 10. That's 15.
Number 10.
Zeroing in on a very specific niche. For us, that is Mexico and all of our experiences traveling within the country. It's not even travel in general, because that's not very niche, that's a huge topic. As another example, if we were a cooking channel, and say our cooking channel was very specific about cakes, we wouldn't be deviating off to do other things like making pretzels. We would be focusing just on those cakes because that is the audience that we're trying to go after.
Because if you're trying to be something to everybody, you're going to be nothing to nobody. You might be thinking, well, doesn't this video contradict this point? Yes, it does. This is different than the usual video we make. But after your channel's established, you can branch out occasionally and try other things. So it's still the case that 19 out of 20 videos that we make are still about travel, but as the case is right now, pretty much the whole world is shut down because of the coronavirus, and we're stuck inside, so now is a perfect time to branch out. And because we've had a lot more comments recently about people asking how to start a YouTube channel, we thought this would be a good time to make this video.
And now for number 11. And this is not the last one. We're going to include a few bonus tips after this. But as for number 11, we've seen a certain evolution in our channel. It's changed a little bit, it's evolved a little bit, but after a while we would see what was working and what's not working. What we've done is continue doing what's working and stop doing the things that aren't working. Seems pretty self-explanatory, a pretty easy concept, but you'd be surprised how many people we see on YouTube trying to beat a dead horse with something that they really want to do that, and it's just not working for their channel. That said, there's probably a certain level of this that happened in the very beginning, or in the very beginning of any channel, where you're going to have to continue doing it over and over and over, making videos after video after video after video until it starts picking up, because, you know, channels have to start somewhere.
Yeah, that's been a major reason for the success of our channel. When we've found something that works, we try to build on that and turn that into a bit of a series instead of just having it be a one-time thing.
And also realizing when it's burnt out, when it's done. We've been able to tell that to people can be interested in a topic for a while and then it starts to fizzle out, and so it's like always trying to be mindful of that, which also goes back to looking at the analytics and many of the things that we've talked about. Okay, so now for those bonus tips. The first, and I think most importantly, is to do something you love. If we didn't really enjoy doing this from the very beginning and have continued to enjoy doing it, we would have never made it this far, because like I just mentioned, you're gonna have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over ad nauseum, and sometimes at a level of frustration that you couldn't even imagine. So you really have to love what you're doing in order to push through those hard moments and get past the obstacles that will inevitably come up.
Yeah, 99% of YouTubers burn out, and that's why they stop making videos. Doing something you love is how you're going to avoid burnout.
Another thing is, don't go at it alone. I know there are plenty of other YouTubers out there that are single YouTubers and they do the whole thing by themselves, and honestly, congratulations to those people, because I can't imagine how difficult it would be. I think it has been amazing that we've been doing this together, because we play off of each other's strengths, and really we play off of each other on camera, and it creates this great dynamic. We split up the work that needs to be done. Yes, having a YouTube channel is a lot of work. I don't know if you realize that.
But yeah, we found it very helpful to have a partner in this.
So obviously not necessary, but we think it really helps. Next is, do not let perfection keep you from starting. This is coming from a perfectionist. From the very beginning, I was so critical of everything and I didn't want to release anything unless it was amazing. But ultimately, your videos, your first videos, are very likely going to suck. So you cannot let that stop you from posting. You have to start somewhere. Everybody starts somewhere. And if you're feeling discouraged, maybe go to another YouTuber's channel, even a big YouTuber, go back to their early videos and see what they look like from the very beginning, so that you know you can suck that much too at the beginning and still end up somewhere successful eventually.
You can even go back to the beginning of our channel. We thought our videos were good when we started, but now we can look back and be like, oh my gosh, these were awful and relative to what they are now.
Yeah. Next tip is, do your best ideas first. Since your early videos are probably going to suck a little bit more than they will down the line, you want to give people every reason possible to watch your videos. Make them think, I'll give them a chance. Like, I'll go out on a limb for them. I'll subscribe to that channel. It seems like there could be something there. Give people every reason that you possibly can to continue watching.
Another tip is, think about evergreen content versus trending content. What's evergreen content? That's something that's going to be relevant for years to come, versus trending that's relevant today, in the next week, maybe in the next month. Over the course of our channel, we've tried to make videos that will be relevant for years to come, and our idea behind this was that every video we create will mean passive income for us for years, which is my ultimate goal out of this. My ultimate financial goal out of this YouTube channel is financial freedom, and having that passive income does that.
Not only that, you're making an investment every time you make a video. We're investing our time, and before we put it on YouTube, all of that is like basically free, unpaid work. We're just making an investment to be able to put it on YouTube and hope to get something out of that. It doesn't even make sense for us to make videos that are just on topics that could potentially go viral, or trending topics that people aren't really going to care about later, because that's just a bad investment essentially. It's only going to be relevant for that time and not into the future.
We've still never had a viral video. We've made almost 300 videos. Not one has been viral.
And that's actually another tip, is just I don't recommend trying to get a viral video, because what you're going to do is what we talked about earlier. A viral video is trying to appeal to a large group of people, and when you're trying to be something for everyone, you're not going to actually hone in on the audience that you actually want, the audience that's going to be highly interested in your topic. You're going to get lots of fish, and then they're going to swim away later because they realize that your content isn't for them. It was just that video that they really liked.
And most channels who get a viral video early on end up dying.
And you can always tell this too, that maybe a channel grew really, really quickly, but then they're kind of stagnating now, because you'll see them have a lot of subscribers, but then if you look at each individual video that they've put out lately, it doesn't get that many views. That's why earlier we were talking about subscribers being a vanity metric to a certain extent, because it can happen like that, where your channel is just not going anywhere even though you have a lot of subscribers.
Another very important tip is get people watching your other videos. And the reason why this is so important, not only to get more views for you, but after people watch some more of your videos, they'll be more likely to to decide, oh yeah, I like this channel, I'll subscribe.
Also, after a viewer watches 3 videos of yours, YouTube is much more likely to include more of your videos in the recommended section of YouTube. So then you're no longer having to do so much work. YouTube is doing that work for you because you've shown them that people are interested enough in your content to continue watching.
So on our channel, we create a lot of playlists and we try to get people onto those playlists. Not only is it convenient for them to have all your videos in order, or if they're interested in our Vegas content, to have all of our Vegas content in order, categorized. But also with the recommendations that YouTube starts giving out after you watch a certain number of videos.
Another tip we have for you is to be good to other people and also make friends in the YouTube community. We hold the philosophy that it doesn't have to be a competition for everybody to win. So even people in our same sector or our same industry, you might say, on YouTube, like other travel YouTubers, even other Mexico travel YouTubers, we think that it doesn't have to be a competition with them. We can collab with those people, or we can give them tips, or we can give them shout outs, but it doesn't mean that we're losing from that. Not only because we get friends out of it, we've met some really cool people that way, but also because it creates goodwill in the community, and ultimately it's going to help your channel grow, their channel grow, and it's like give a little, get a little.
This kind of goes back to the give more than you take.
And finally,
grind it out. Those first 100, 250 subscribers are going to be the most difficult ones, and you have to work for every single subscriber. So try to promote your videos in every way that you can, whether that's on blogs, on Facebook groups related to that type of content, watching and commenting on similar channels' videos.
Applying all of these tips that we've given so far in this video, because I think all of those things ultimately will help you get those first 100 or 250, which I also agree are the hardest. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. We normally release videos about our life and travels in Mexico, if you didn't gather that impression so far.
And if you want to see our videos from the beginning, we highly recommend checking out our Binge Watch Everything playlist, so you can see how our videos progressed over time.
We'll include that playlist on the end screen here in just a moment, but one more thing before you go, por favor. Gong that bell so you will be the first to be notified whenever we release a new video.
And we'll see you very soon.